the try line, that is where he's at his most dangerous. And a big night for this fella, Stephen Clark.
Well, Kieran Cunningham, the hooker last week, was in hospital and having an operation on Thursday, and I'm sure that everybody on the Sky Sports team, everybody in British Rugby League wishes Kieran a very speedy recovery, and also that the Great Britain boys can give him the tonic that he wants. Swain gets us underway. This do-or-die test for Great Britain, and here is Terry O'Connor. What a first tackle! What a hit by Wiki and Kearney.
Pretty high though was Kearney, and Terry O'Connor felt that it is in no man's land at the moment. His legs are wobbling all over. Wonderful pass!
Beautiful pass. They have three men on the overlap. This is Keith Senior, and Senior will take on Robbie Paul down the line. A great charge, and he flicks the ball back, but he was out of play. It was a wonderful start, that, for Great Britain, after a thundering challenge on O'Connor. O'Connor's on his feet and groggy.
Super stuff, the way that they got the ball out wide. We said that they had to be more adventurous. Well, you can't ask for much better than that, can you? Right under your own sticks in the opening seconds. They sweep the ball out wide. They try to come back on the inside. That's what Gilmore did. But the slippery surface allowed Senior to be pushed out. But that'll lift the confidence of the Brits.
It certainly will. This now, though, is Robbie Paul, and of course he was in that Bradford side, remember, that won that World Club Challenge here last February, so he has happy memories of this ground as well.
Has to be solid defence by Great Britain, and that's good quality. You've got to get a good mark, and they're getting off that mark pretty quickly indeed.
Looks like Terry O'Connor is fully recovered from that big hit. This is Ruben Wiki, and that was a very good tackle also by Jamie Peacock. Wiki plays, oh, that was forward from Swain. That was forward a mile. Referee lets it go, last tackle.
I'd say half a metre, but it should have been sufficient to put the scrum down.
And here is the first testing kick from Stacey Jones. Connolly is underneath that, and he was in the in-goal area, so Britain will restart with a tap. The referee wants all New Zealand to get back on the right side of the ball. And here now is Andrew Farrell.
British fans didn't like that. I'm not so sure that he got it correctly. It looked to me as though one foot was in the field of play. Either way, they got the benefit of the doubt.
Lowe's at dummy half. Here is O'Connor, very busy in the opening 2 minutes of this match, despite the fact they got that crunching tackle. And here now is Paul Deacon. He fires it wide to Sculthorpe. So good to see Sculthorpe back in the red, white and blue of Great Britain.
Even if he's only 75% fit, Eddie, he'll certainly be an advantage to our side. And I must also point out, and I'm sure David Waite had realised this, that it's such a big New Zealand outfit, yet there are two players out there, very small, Awaya and Stacey Jones. We've got to have our big guys running at those two. They're a bit susceptible when they are on the defensive line. So much so that they've conceded 13 tries already on this tour of the Kiwis, so we can break them down.
It's Lowe's and Peacock with the tackle on the man, of course, who wreaked havoc last week. It was Henry Farfili who got that hat-trick, the first Kiwi to get 3 tries against Great Britain. This now is the prop forward Paul Rahihi, and Britain hunting very quickly. It takes some putting down, though. This is a very big pack of New Zealanders. Swain and Stacey Jones. Kick over the top. That bounced off the back of... Oh, and that ball has bounced horribly. This is Vanganar. And Connolly there to pick up the pieces for Great Britain and stepping away. Kearney gets to him, though. Good challenge.
Looking to get away with that. Lee Gilmore went to take a man off the ball and suddenly just pulled his arm away. It was sufficient enough to kid the referee, Stephen Clark. There's the first penalty. Second attempt there by the Kiwis.
Gutenbeil penalised for the challenge on foreshore.
And he tried to roll him across, push him away.
But that ball bounced horribly for Great Britain in defence, and almost for a moment they looked flat-footed. But Connolly came to the rescue. 4 minutes gone, 0-0 in this second test. A test match that Britain don't lose. Farrell breaks the first challenge from Gutenbeil.
Now they've got to line up the likes of the back three, Peacock, Farrell and Forshaw, as I mentioned. Running at the likes of Jones and Lancer higher.
Terry O'Connor will retire from international football after this series. This is Deacon. And here is Fielden. Good run from Stuart Fielden, taking 3 to bring him down, though. his feet, plays the ball to his Bradford teammate Lowe's, who'll attack that line. Deacon onto Fielden, keep the movement going here to Forshaw, and Forshaw almost through, gets it back to Fielden again. He'll take them on once more. This time there's 4 black jerseys there. Fielden to his feet, Lowe's waits. Good ball then to Farrell. Farrell coming back on the angle.
Good stuff. They're mixing and matching it already. James Lowe's stamping his authority out there.
Deacon will stab the ball into the in-goal area. Oh, risky business. Robbie Paul is trapped in goal. And Britain will get the ball back. Consecutive set of 6 coming up.
Good pressure kick there by Paul Deacon. Superb stuff. They were all onside. Good job that Jones got to it, but not the best pass. There were rumours coming out of the New Zealand camp that Gary Freeman, their coach, had said to his players, we will just take it very calm and collected. Do not force the pass. They've done a lot of that on this tour so far. They've got away with it, but that was a good kick from Deacon.
Yes, a quality kick. On halfway, Sculthorpe gives it to O'Connor. Oh, another big hit, and O'Connor's lost it, but he went backwards, that.
Play on.
Oh, that ball went backwards.
Well, that's the second big hit, and it's Stephen Kearney yet again. Australian referee Stephen Clark saying that he lost control, and he probably did. He tried to sweep it again. Well, he's the big target, the prop forward, Terry O'Connor.
And he's taken 2 big hits already, but for my money, that went back in the tackle. This is Tupi, winning his 5th cap for New Zealand. Gobbled up by Peacock and also by Terry O'Connor. Swain. O'Connor loves nothing better, though, than a physical confrontation. He's got one tonight. Gary Freeman, the New Zealanders' coach, as his team plays the ball on halfway. Tupi, I beg your pardon, Wiki is clattered by Deacon.
Good work by Deacon as well. Came in off the blind side on the angle, and that's adding extra weight to their defence. One down, one up top to stop the offload. There's a key factor too.
And that's Stacey Jones, and they almost took the dummy. They did. He got the ball away to CSCU. CSCU waits for support, and it arrives from Raihi. Britain must watch Stacey Jones.
Well,
that ball's come free.
That should be a knock-on. It should be head and feet to Great Britain. And it's getting a bit tasty out there, and rightly so. This is what we need. We know all about this fella. Raihi is tough, uncompromising, but we've got to try to suck New Zealand into the fact that this is going to be a real arm wrestle.
Make or break for Britain tonight. Forshaw to Sculthorpe. He fires it wide to Gleeson, and Gleeson gets away from 2. He was away from Kearney. He couldn't get away from Gutenbeil. Kearney came back and got him second attempt. Here now is Farrell. Farrell taking on Lance Hohaya. Hohaya doing well, and also on a knock-on. Knock-on by the skipper.
Bad mistake there, but they are the tactics. You'll notice who he was running at, and that was a little halfback, Lance Hohaya. That's where we got to make the impact, and he just lost control. Finished off by Gutenbeil. He knows he needs a big game. No one has to tell him. The country, he knows, is at stake.
New Zealand with the head and feed. They've never, and there's a bit of a problem there for James Lowe's, a bit of blood on the top of the forehead just being cleaned up. They've never previously swept through a full tour of Great Britain and France unbeaten. 1998 they won 2 and drew the 3rd test against Great Britain, but that was a 3-test hit and run tour. They've never gone through it on a fully fledged tour unbeaten. The Aussies, of course, have done it once or twice, 82 and 86
Play
particularly.
On. Paul is saying, well, if he's lost it.
Well, no advantage to Great Britain, so he's going to put the scrum down.
I'm not so sure he lost it. Did he whip out? No, he did lose it. Just the sheer weight of Phelan going over the top. Stephen Kearney claiming to the official that it was dragged away.
Take it in. Take it in.
Well, a good 8.5 minutes for Britain. They've shown a lot more adventure, and they look a lot more confident.
Here now is Sculthorpe. Connolly was the dummy half, and it's Farrell again. That was high from CUC, a bit of a swinging arm. Farrell didn't like it. He did not like it, and he didn't like the attention he was getting on the deck either.
Well, he was legs and arms and boots all over the place. The rule states, and he's got him.
Another penalty.
That was a payback for the one before, I feel. Great Britain want to get on with it, but Andy Farrell, rightly so, says, hey, come on, let's calm it down. Look at this. Boots. You're not supposed to walk all over the top. He's a key man, though, for the Kiwis, Richard Swain, the hooker. I thought he had an outstanding game last week.
Capacity audience inside the McAlpine Stadium by the looks. It's 0-0, 2 penalties to Great Britain. This the possession from the second one, and that is Senior, who plays the ball to Lowe's, who gives it to O'Connor, who tries to run over the top of Swain. That could have been a flop by Rahihi.
And it should be a penalty now, but it's given the advantage, and that's maybe good. That means that we've got to keep the ball up there. Forshaw lost it, but Lowe's picked it up.
And this now is Fielden, and Fielden is wrestled to the ground by Wiki.
Well, a lot of these Kiwis going high. Wiki certainly went high on Fielden. He felt it.
Sculthorpe to Peacock, and Peacock still.
That's away. He's picking out the right man. He was running all over the top of Stacey Jones.
Last tackle here.
David Wade seems to have got the tactics right.
So far, Deacon will hoist the kick. Now then, this is a big chance. And it's knocked back and flicked off the foot. That was on the last. Who got that final touch?
I think it was a Kiwi. He'll go to the touch judge. He went backwards and then it was kicked there. Definitely off a Kiwi.
Well, he's given the head and feet to New Zealand.
That went back and it was Lance O'Hire that reefed the ball away. How on earth could that man on your screen, the touch judge, come up with a decision like that? He knows he's got away with the youngster.
Well, O'Hire made the play to go and it bounced off his knee.
It doesn't matter, he played for the ball.
Exactly, he played at it.
Come off his nose for all I care. Senior put it back.
Well, the touch judge on that far side got that totally wrong. Here come New Zealand. This is too big. Great ball round the corner, and this is Melly. And Melly has got Robbie Paul, and Robbie Paul has got Melly, and Melly is going to get in for the first try. Well, Britain have been undone. Britain have been undone. They should never have had possession against them at that scrum. Instead of which, New Zealand got the put in, New Zealand get the possession, New Zealand get the try. Francis Melly of the New Zealand Warriors. First try of the test, but Britain most unfortunate. This should have been head and feet Britain.
I think it should, Eddie. There's a definite move of the left leg. If the ball plays the man, then the touch judge has got it right. But whilst they were complaining, beautiful pass, Tupi straight through. Back on the inside, good support by Robbie Paul. He's certainly back to best. Good offload, and Mr. Melly in for an easy try. We really should have shut them down. You could see there that Paul Sculthorpe was sucked in, created the overlap. And the Bradford star and skipper Robbie Paul sent this man away. Completely against the run of play, but you take your chances. And they certainly have done that.
And a magnificent try, it must be said, by New Zealand. But I go back to the original point. Britain should have had head and feet at the scrum, which gave the New Zealanders the possession to go the length of the field and score. Well, they mustn't dwell on that. They're 4-0 down to Francis Melly's try. He hasn't missed a game on this tour yet. And this now is Richard Swain to try and add the extras. And it must be said that last week at Blackburn, Swain did not have his kicking boots with him. 3 from 6 attempts. But this is eminently kickable for a guy of this quality. 27 years of age, from Melbourne. He will play for Brisbane next year, making his 18th appearance for his country, but the angle not too bad. He should kick this, a man of his quality. Oh, that's a shocker. 4-0. Damage limitation for the Lions.
Well done, Eddie. You put the mocker on him yet again. Let's hope he goes. But there you can see there, 3-on-2. They all went for Vanguard, especially the standoff Paul Sculthorpe. And Tupi goes through. Good support play, though. He did very well, did Melly, didn't he? Put himself right on the position. Good step from Paul. Nothing that Connolly could do. He's got to go for the man with the football. which in this instance was Robbie Paul. It allowed Melly an easy run to the line, but that was nothing short of sensational.
Oh, magnificent rugby league try. New Zealand ahead 4-0. Britain, though, forcing the man back. And now he's given a penalty for this, and Andrew Farrell leading the protest.
And then they started pushing back. They stopped forward movement.
Well, he said the van was stopped, and then they started pushing him back. Where was he stopped? Knees were on the deck.
I never saw it.
And neither did the British defenders.
Somewhat pedantic there from Stephen Clark. But it's important now that Britain just gather their thoughts. There's one down. Who's down? It looks like
Peacock, I think.
Peacock, yeah.
Well, it's a rough, tough match, this. Jamie Peacock in a bit of trouble. Here's Richard Swain. He had a magnificent match at Blackburn last week. Robbie Paul didn't do so badly either. Robbie Paul, when he puts a black jersey on, well, he steps up a gear. He's good enough for the Bradford Bulls as it is. And a push and a shove, and Kearney was after Deacon then.
A lot more spirit in the Great Britain side, you can sense it.
Here's Jones, hang on. Oh, lovely chip and a lovely run here from Jones. He's found Tupi. Oh, good ball to Melly. Melly going for the line. He's pushed out, fortunately, but that was sensational from Stacey Jones.
Was it ever in and out? And it's a good job that Paul Sculthorpe was cleaning up just like it would normally as a loose forward. Connolly got to him, and then it was Sculthorpe that came to the rescue. But it just shows you the danger that this man Stacey Jones can produce. Little twinkle toes, they call him, back in Auckland, and rightly so.
Well, we have known from day one of this tour, as we watched the New Zealand Warriors actually throughout the summer on Sky Sports, that Stacey Jones would be the key man for the Kiwis. But how to stop him? That's the question. Here is Leon Price. Last tackle, going to be a kick here. Has to be a good one from Deacon. And it's not bad, but it will allow Farfili the opportunity to run the ball back. Well, quite a good start for Great Britain, but they're behind the 8 ball. 4-0 down, Sean. It was a bit unjust, that try, though, wasn't it?
It probably was. I agree with you guys. I think that Lance Ohaya played at the football. Obviously, it was a touch judge call, not a referee call. But, you know, I've got to say again, New Zealand have weathered a very, very big storm from the Great Britain side early on. I thought the way that Great Britain started was very adventurous. They were keen to throw the ball around. They've just the last couple of sets gone back against trying to run one out. There's probably a little bit of a fatigue factor coming in because, again, New Zealand have probably had the better of field position over the last 10 minutes or so. And, you know, Great Britain have just got to hang in there and be patient and just do a little bit more with the football, and they may find themselves in a position to score.
Pulatria with the play the ball to Ruben Wiki. Stacey Jones again. Here is a test for Gilmore. He's given the penalty to New Zealand. Someone was taken out off the ball.
Well, there's one thing protecting your winger when it's a high kick into the corner. It's another thing when you just completely block someone, and it looks to me as though Senior, that's pedantic. He barely gave him half a push. It's not tiddlywinks, come on.
You dig out your course and take him out of it.
I've seen bigger impact with a mosquito landing on my nose.
Well, Keith Senior penalised by Stephen Clark, who actually gave Britain a 10-3 penalty count last week in their favour.
But he's given a penalty for a man saying that he was stopped in the tackle when he was still moving.
This is Swain, and he nearly fooled the Great Britain defence again. They have a big job on here because the Kiwis are 2 metres away. And here now is the substitute, Lauatiti.
Watch for Stacey Jones. He's standing well out wide to the left.
And it's gone to Stacey Jones, and the ball back inside to Kearney, and he's undone them again. Stacey Jones has undone them again. But the boos ring round this ground, and it's not for Great Britain, I can tell you. It is for this man, Stephen Clark, who has penalised Keith Senior out wide for virtually nothing. And Stuart Fielden feels a little bit undone as well.
Keith Senior took the bike out there, and you've had, I think, maybe one penalty, another one against you. That's it. All right, yeah, good work. Thanks, mate.
Well, two diabolical decisions as far as I'm concerned has created 2 tries for the Kiwis. I know we keep saying take your chance, but look at this. What's this? He barely just bumps into him. Well, if that's obstruction, my hair will grow tomorrow. But you can't take away the skills of this man, Stacey Jones. Normally he stands very close to the dummy half first receiver, but you could see there he put himself well wide. Kearney knew exactly what he was going to do, and it was good work from the second row, Kearney. Slippy conditions, he dived low, no chance of stopping him.
And Swain will have the extras here. Bang in front. It's 10-0 to New Zealand. And after a pretty impressive start for Great Britain, they find themselves 10 points adrift. Kearney with the try.
Well, 2 decisions have brought about tries, and then there was one incident where they were penalised when they were in a good position, Great Britain, when all they were doing defensively was getting into a tackle. The man have not stopped. They have not had the rub of the green, and it's no excuse, I know, but they've been badly done to.
Well, they have. We have an Australian referee, of course, who referees the majority of these New Zealand Warriors and well, all of them actually. They all, don't they? They all play in the NRL in Australia. And well, I just wonder about the wisdom, frankly, of bringing an Australian official over every time. Bill Harrigan refereed Australia-New Zealand, didn't he, this year? What's the problem with us having Russell Smith in the middle tonight, or Steve Ganson, or somebody like that, or indeed Thierry Alibert from France? Anyway, we shouldn't carp about the referees just because Great Britain are losing. But here is Robbie Paul.
But you have done, no less.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's a vital test match.
For once, I'm in agreement with you.
Mind you, I don't think the touch judge on the far side is Australian, by the way, who gave that first decision.
Don't try to get out of it. That's a good kick and chase. And I tell you what, Great Britain are looking very, very slow to get back. And you can see there were 4 forwards, and they're struggling. They are really, really struggling.
Give me the benefit of the doubt. Next time they're in front of you, I'll pull you back and I'll put a scrum down.
Well, he took a quick tap here, did Paul Sculthorpe. Thought he could catch the New Zealanders on the back foot, and the referee says he wants the New Zealand defence to be in position before he takes the quick tap. Now, am I not getting the hang of this? Wasn't this something that we brought in this year, that the quick tap could be taken?
Well, the Australian referee also...
Have they not found touch?
He was looking at the situation, Eddie. Was it the fact that there was already 4 players in front of Sculthorpe?
That's 0!
If you take a penalty, you got to have all your team behind you. Good hit.
It was a good hit. That was by Farrell on Wiki. He felt that. This is Richard Swain. Mind you, if you can't find touch with your penalties, I'm afraid that is elementary.
Yeah, you can't blame the referee on that one.
This is Guttenbeil. And Guttenbeil does brilliantly to Swain. Here is Stacey Jones. Now it's Ruben Wiki again. He's away from Deacon. Wasn't away from Senior and Deacon now.
We're having trouble in that first and second marker.
Swain attacking the line. Ball out wide. Farfili. And the defender there, Terry O'Connor, slipped. Here is Richard Swain. Now it's with Stacey Jones. Stacey Jones lands so higher. He picked that up one-handed, making a mockery of the conditions.
Watch for Robbie Paul coming on the inside of Stacey Jones.
Pulatuya to Stephen Kearney. He gets it away. Oh, great hands, Tupi.
That was forward anyway. And it's well picked out by the official. Little doubt in my mind that was going forward, and it was of the opinion too. And this is it. And build up to this. And you can see that Lauatiti was just in front.
Well, Lauatiti, the Michael Jordan of rugby league. He's got wonderful offloading skills. He's got a pair of hands like shovels. This is Mike Forshaw.
Well, it looks like an apple in his hand, isn't it?
Farrell. Oh, great tackle by Wiki. Well, the big fella's come on for Terry O'Connor. Here he is, Anderson. They know the threat that he poses.
Well, we've seen over the years that the combination of James Lowes and Anderson has been good, but we've got to make sure we get in a good position. We really have not tested them and put pressure on the New Zealanders on their own line.
Ball to ground. Found Sinfield. Sinfield got it away to Gleeson, and Tupi wasn't going to allow him to get past him. Here's Sinfield again. For my money, he was one of the best at Blackburn last week. That's a great kick. He's after it himself. He's claimed it brilliantly. Deacon hacks on, and Farfili is there to quell the danger for the Kiwis. But that was Sinfield who produced that.
I'm with you, Eddie. I thought he had a constructive game. I made the point before last week's game kicked off that we didn't have many support players. We do on the bench today in Richard Horne and Danny Orr, and if we can see more skills like that from Kevin Sinfield.
Well, some big hits tonight. O'Connor and Jamie Peacock have felt the weight of them, Bill.
That's right, Eddie. It's a miracle that Jamie Peacock's the only one that's sitting on the sidelines at the moment, because Terry O'Connor's come off and he's been battered and bruised in that ferocious opening, but Peacock went in for a hit and came off second best against one of the Kiwis. He's just sitting it out, though. He should be able to come back later.
The kick from Richard Swain's far too deep.
There's the injury here, as you can see, went pretty high.
It's Jerry see you. And there is Peacock. He's on the bench now as a result of that. And we know how tough see you is, and we know how hard his head is after last week.
Not many soft ones out there, Eddie, on both sides.
Here's Farrell.
If any. Interesting to see when David Waite will introduce more off the bench. We were critical last week, the fact that he didn't take Carl Pratt off earlier, and he paid the price there. I wonder when he's going to introduce Richard Horne and Danny Orr.
This is Gary Connolly. Oh, he got the ball away in an impossible situation there. Oh, and that was a big hit on Stuart Field, and Wiki coming in across and over the top. Here is Lowes. That's the last for Great Britain. Now the kick has to be good from Deacon or from Farrell, and there it is. Now then, the chase. Robbie Paul collected. Lowes and Anderson.
Teammates connecting there. You see there, Anderson was held back as well. But we saw the incident. Remember when Senior was penalised? That was worse.
Well, it was as bad.
No, it was worse.
This is Van Ganaar.
Important now that Britain just keep New Zealand well deep in their own half and try to force this error.
Easier said than done. This is Lauatiti. Richard Swain, it wasn't the best play of the ball. Now then, Stacey Jones will go for a 40-20. But Gilmore is over there to pick up for Great Britain and launch the counter. He's on his own. Good run from Gilmore.
Could play the ball, he can't do it though. That should have been a penalty. They're hanging on quite a lot of the Kiwis, making a real meal of it there.
This is Gary Connolly. Connolly to Sculthorpe, pops it back. Here's Sinfield. Just looked over the shoulder, nobody there.
No support, that second phase has to be there quicker than that.
Here's Deacon, found Farrell. Farrell has got 3 round him every time he touches the ball. It was same at Blackburn last week. He's obviously a danger man for Great Britain. Lowes pops the ball back. Here's Forshaw, bounces off Kearney, gets away from Ohio, manages to offload.
Back to 6.
6 to go. 6 to go. Farrell will hang on. He'll steady the ship, Farrell. Good run.
We need a crisscross now, confuse the New Zealand defence.
And here is Deacon. And
No one coming again on the second phase. He had the ball in his arms, he wanted to offload.
This is Sculthorpe. Attacking them, Sculthorpe. Good play.
That'll be a drop out underneath the sticks. Quick thinking there from the number 6, Paul Sculthorpe.
Well, James Lowes has said something to Stephen Clark.
Come here. I've heard about you. You want to keep shouting your mouth off? I've got a yellow. You have. That's the 3rd time this game I've got a yellow card here. You'll be sitting over there.
Well, I've heard about you, he said to James Lowes.
Well, it's no big secret, Eddie, is it?
Well, he should should really take it on the evidence of what he sees before him. Never mind, I've heard about you.
Well, he said this is a third occasion.
Yes, that's fair enough.
We know Jimmy has a tendency to have a little bit of a chat to the officials. It's the manner in which you have the chat that counts.
Backwards,
He
backwards.
went backwards. Here's Anderson. He'll run it back.
That's one. Here it is, Kiwis. Wait.
Lowe's appealing to the referee silently. It's now with Fielden.
When they're doing the inside and doing the cross, they really need a third person running in.
Lowe's attacking the line. Good ball.
Three.
And Connolly is chiming in to the attack on every opportunity tonight. Lowe's again. Here is Deacon. Oh, good ball. That was nearly through for Farrell, but a very good tackle by Ohio. Mike Forshaw, Paul Deacon, Sculthorpe, attacking from deep. Sinfield dumps the ball back.
Touch. 6 more.
6 to go. 6 to go for Great Britain. Sculthorpe at dummy half. Deacon to Anderson.
This is where Lowe's can come into his best form now. Running a little flick.
There's Lowe's. Exactly that, but no little flick. He held on. They're 3 meters away. Chance here. A dart for the line. Oh, not the best play, the ball.
They've got away with it. They'll get 6 more. There'll be the knock on. They'll put the scrum down, and Britain will get head and feet. Well, the pressure we applied is given a penalty.
No, I think that's an indication of head and feet of the scrum, Stephen.
Well, I thought he'd given a penalty there. Lost control.
That was a shocking play, the ball from Connolly.
Well, to be fair to the official, he knew that there was a Kiwi all over him. It was Lanto Ohio that came up with a mistake. But he's really getting into the swing of things now, James Lowe. Some good running from the dummy half position. But he's bringing someone back on one angle. What we do need is that second phase yet again. Do the proper crisscross. They're only doing it once. Do it twice.
Connolly, Anderson. And Anderson will run it at them again. Ohio did well, and Kearney. Sinfield. Connolly to Sculthorpe. Well, they're so close. And it's got to be a penalty. Now,
He's got to warn them now. This is about the 4th time he's discussed it. He's Gary Freeman, and they want to take the quick tap again. And Lowe's is in the thick of it. We said he'd make acquaintance very quickly, and he has done that.
3 to go, but I haven't given it to you. Wait, James. You've got to wait till I give you the mark.
All right, sir. So Jimmy,
no worries.
they're on.
he's on thin ice.
Yep.
Sinfield. Wide to Deacon. Deacon then to Farrell back on the inside, but they're waiting for them. And see is
Go!
pushing and shoving again as Farrell tried to play the ball. Forshaw.
2!
Half an hour gone. 10-0 New Zealand.
Dummy runner is needed now.
Senior. They're underneath the sticks, Great Britain here. 3 tackles to go.
Where's
Golden
Big Anderson?
opportunity.
Where's Big Anderson?
It's with Sculthorpe. It's wide to Leon Price. And Leon Price scores. The pressure is cold at last for Great Britain. Leon Price tries in successive weeks against the Kiwis. Britain are back in it.
3 sets of 6 is sufficient. We've said it so many times this year. With that sort of possession, you've got to come to it. No worry about being a forward pass. It was deflected from a Kiwi, I feel. Sculthorpe threw it away. No. Melly couldn't get to it either way. Great work here. See how Melly was caught out. He was caught out in the first test too. To no avail, the Kiwis won, and Price has done it again.
An opening try last week, winged all 3 against the Australians last year. A great pass from the man of steel to set Leon Price up. But significantly, when Price went over for that try, there were about half a dozen Kiwis on their knees, breathing deeply. The pressure is telling. This pressure that Great Britain have had over the past 5 or 10 minutes has made its mark on the New Zealanders. But this is an important kick for the captain. He's got it. Great Britain 6, New Zealand 10. Test match underway at the McAlpine Stadium. Leon Price throws Great Britain a lifeline. Now they must stiffen up now. They mustn't concede anything else before half-time. They must try and score themselves before half-time. That would be the lift.
Certainly would, and it's the right time as well psychologically to pull through. But so often in the past that the team that kicks off, they usually come away with the points in the final minutes of the first half and even at the end of the game. But as you say, Eddie, we've got to really stiffen up. We've got to be very, very careful now. But then if the opportunity arises, test your arm, go for it. And again, they're going high.
Lowe's at dummy half. Fielden thought about the offload, but quickly changed his mind with Gutenbiel around him. Leon Price, he's all over the place.
Good work from the winger as well.
They've got possession back in their favour. Lowe's, Swain having a crack at him. And also in there was Lauatiti, and he was finished off by Siu. Price dummy half, back to Deacon on halfway. Deacon with the kick over the top. And Melly will pick it up on his own try line.
Beautiful kick there from Paul Deacon. He went astray in the second half last weekend, but I'm sure that the confidence is pretty high now. Solid defence, leading the way, Gleeson.
This is Tupi.
That's what we've got to do. We've got to make the New Zealanders go into one-out rugby league football.
This is Gutenbiel. Good tackle by Sinfield. Quick play the ball though. That was Swain to Siu. That's the last tackle, just over halfway, the New Zealanders. Good set of 6 for Great Britain. Here's Jones. Wide it goes to Lance Ohaya. Good kick over the top. And Gilmore wisely not having anything to do with that. It wasn't a 40-20. But this young man, Lance Ohaya, he is coming of age on this tour. Only 19 years of age. But what a talent.
Certainly is. Looked a little bit confused and out of it in the first 40. Blackburn last week. There's the coaching staff. They'll be quite happy with the fact that only 4 points adrift, especially with the feeling that it was against the run of play. To very dubious decisions has allowed the Kiwis to be in the lead at 10-6.
Let's go down to Bill.
Well, we saw Jimmy Lowe's having treatment earlier on for a cut on his head, and in fact he's gone straight down the tunnel to that Great Britain dressing room. I think they've been patching him up as he's gone on, and it's now got to the point where he really does need to have some more treatment on that head wound. So Lowe's has gone off, and I think Kevin Sinfield will go into the hooking role at the moment.
Yes, he has.
Oh, that's a high one from Paul. Hawaii, is it?
It's Lance Ohaya.
Ohaya, well it was, as his name suggests. Ohaya, very higher indeed. He maliciously went for him. It was a target. Not a grab, but it was certainly high. It's against the rules.
And it goes on report. Oh,
Yeah.
it was more than a grab.
Yeah, certainly from that angle.
And that's on report. The referee has just indicated that with the crossed arms above his head.
Well, we're giving him a rap for the fact that he's been slow to get back in the international scene. And he certainly proved it in the second half last week. But he can do without that as part of his game.
Peacock's tackle standing up. That was Sinfield's ball to Anderson. He bounced off Siu. Chances here for Britain, but Deacon was quickly closed down by Ohaya, but he gets away from them. And Ohaya after him again.
Again, we see the Kiwis going pretty high, which is to our advantage.
Sculthorpe. Britain looking to... And Danny Orr's warming up with his club coach there, Graham Stedman alongside him. Here is Stuart Fielden. Britain are turning up the heat. Sinfield. Farrell attacking the line, halted 5 metres away on the last.
Got to be the kick.
Sinfield. Sculthorpe back on the inside. Fielden on the bounce to Deacon. Deacon then gives it to Connolly. Connolly hoists the kick, looking for Gleeson and Price. Price gets it, flicks it back. Anderson on to Peacock. Peacock back to Anderson. Great Britain keeping it alive. Ah, the Kiwis. This now is Farrell. Farrell wide to Forshaw. Forshaw flicks it again. It's still on the last. It's still on the last. And that's Gilmore. Not a bad effort.
Super rugby league football from the British boys. And surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, Nigel Van Ganaar has been around enough to realise they were on the rack. the ability to keep it going, and that's good play by the official Stephen Clark.
He says, let's play the ball.
Yep, get on with it, and rightly so.
Great Britain searching for the mistake from this New Zealand side.
Well, they're looking great at the moment. They went through a dodgy period midway through this half, but they've collected their thoughts and their defensive line.
Richard Swain at dummy half. Stacey Jones closed down, so he has to go inside. Flick pass over the top. Oh, there's some space here for Tupi. And Tupi nicks it back to Melly. And Melly then gives it to the big fellow, Lauatiti, who offloads again to Melly. Melly is still not tackled. Now he is by Sculthorpe. That's the last. Richard Swain, Stacey Jones, Price after him. Does well, Price. But Stacey Jones is a champion. He really is a champion. Oh, mistake. Oh, the mistake now from Sinfield.
He played the first knock on from
here he's at it.
Well, they've been throwing high ones. We knew there was going to be more spirit in this test match, and there is. It was pretty tough last week. And they're all into it. Peacock wants to cover him. Kearney was getting a facial from Senior, I feel. There's the first knock on from Kearney. He didn't like the fact that Senior, all he had to do was tackle him. He was allowed to do that, Mr. Kearney.
Exactly, all I was about to say was that Senior was making a challenge for man and ball. There was nothing wrong with this.
None whatsoever. There was a knock on before there and a knock on here. And there you see it. Kearney said, I don't like being tackled.
Well, Kearney's been around a long, long time. This is his 43rd cap tonight. 30 years of age. Strangely enough, you know, he's only scored one test try against Great Britain. It came here in 1998.
He's created a few, though, already. One of the best creative players.
That is until tonight. So he scored 2 test tries now, and they're both on this ground against Great Britain.
What a golden opportunity now in the closing minutes to turn the tourniquet.
And the crowd know that. They're upping the volume as well. And here's Farrell.
Squeeze the blood out of the Kiwis. Lift for it. And I get the feeling now that Deacon and the likes of Sinfield are warming to the task.
That's Fielden. He plays the ball to Sinfield. Emergency hooker now that noses off the field. Forshaw. Whoa, halted in his tracks. And
solid defence.
See you all over the top again, just like he was last week. Here is Deacon. And Deacon with a dab over the top, looking for Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe hacks on! Chance for Gleeson, no!
Oh!
No, I think he's grounded it. I think that Stacey Jones has grounded the ball.
Well, I think that Gleeson's leg was over the line anyway, but what a wonderful effort. Beautiful weighted kick from Paul Deacon.
Well, Gleeson has touched the ball down, but I think that before he got to it, there's no problem with the onside. I think before he gets to it, the skipper, number 7, watch him. Watch Stacey Jones.
Well, I don't think he grounds it. He gets a hand to it, but I don't think he grounds it. That's the hand, he didn't ground it, but I think his legs might just have hit the whitewash. And how close can that be? The left leg will take away 4 valuable points to the British boys. Never got the ground in there, Stacey Jones. He looks in absolute desperation. And there you see the left leg will come to the rescue of the Kiwis. They'll take a different angle. Certainly made a meal of it, Stacey Jones. And there it is. 50-50, but I also feel that...
well, they're obviously not convinced here. They're looking to check that he's not put the ball down before he slides over.
Well, I know they've got the Christmas trees out now on the Christmas lights, but if we get this, Christmas really has come early. How on earth they're going to give this is beyond belief.
Well, they won't.
Well,
they might.
How many times we've been wrong? I'll put the house on it. That usually makes sure that it is 4 points. I think the ball and his foot is down simultaneously, but I think it's on the whitewash anyway. I've seen them given.
Well, we've given the referee a bit of stick. We've given his touch judge a bit of stick. If this is given, I'm afraid we're going to have to give the video ref some stick.
They can't give it.
I wouldn't have thought so.
N-O-T-R-Y.
Goal line dropout, though. And that was the only debate, apparently, I'm just being told. The debate was how to restart the match, which is hugely important, of course, because there's still over a minute of this first half to go, and Britain will have the last set of 6 maybe in this first half. Connolly's underneath the dropout. Anderson to run it back. Bang! Kearney was knocked back on his heels then. Connolly, Sinfield. That's Tony Pulatuya who got the tackle in. Here is Sculthorpe. Here is Deacon. They're lined up down the left. Senior. 3 tackles gone. Forshaw.
They're obviously driving and setting up for a set pattern. Probably the kick.
Will they go early? Here is Sculthorpe. And Sculthorpe is tackled.
Deacon shouting for the football.
Out.
Who's going to come on the inside? Is it Connolly?
It's with Deacon. Now it's with Anderson. There is Deacon. A stab to the in-goal area. And Robbie Paul taking no chances.
Well, he knows there's only seconds remaining in the first half. There's David Waite. Noble making his way down. Gary Freeman will be happy with a 4-point lead. But they've been put under pressure.
The New Zealanders will be happy with a 4-point lead. They're all plodding. And he stopped the clock, the referee, Stephen Clark. So Great Britain will get a last run. They will get a last run.
We'll get the ball, run upfield and hoof it. Get it as high as you can.
Connolly takes control. Here is Deacon. Well, he's gone for the drop goal, Deacon. And he's missed that. And this now is Robbie Paul, so they will have the last tackle of the first half, which they do. Well, we've seen a test match for 40 minutes. And unlike last week when Britain were ahead at half-time, 40 minutes to go.
I'm sure that it'll be utilised by David Waite sometime during the second half. Interesting, one of those stats that was not up there, Eddie, was the attacking kicks. Great Britain 12 against New Zealand 2. So the kicking game, especially the attacking short game, has come up trumps so far.
And in the last quarter of an hour of the match in the first half, there's no doubt about it that Great Britain have negated the threat of Stacey Jones so far anyway for a quarter of an hour, but he's still out there and he's still very much a key figure. That's Richard Swain with the kick over the top. Good kick too, because Gilmore has to funnel back all the way almost to his own line.
Oh, that's a great chase and a wonderful kick from the hooker Richard Swain. Interesting, Richard Swain, they allowed him a little bit too much latitude, the British boys, in that first half. They've really got to try to close him down. A little bit more urgency from the first and second markers, I feel, from Britain.
Now, can Great Britain hold on to the football for this first set of 6 for them at the start of this second half? Let's get the half-time news while we watch. Chris Warren is with the Kiwis, Bill Arthur's with the British.
Eddie, Great Britain know how important these opening minutes are to this second half. They found out to their cost last time out at Blackburn in the first test. They know they've got to hold on to possession. They've got to really, instead of trying to immediately close the gap on the Kiwis, they've just got to settle to their game, try and get on top, because coach David Waite really impressed with that first half effort from his side. In the face of what they feel are 1 or 2 unfortunate decisions from the officials, his side kept their heads buckled down and came battling back, and he just wants them to stick with that, to show the same sort of determination and commitment to the cause, and he hopes that that'll be enough to squeak home in this game, because I reckon that's what it's going to be if Great Britain are going to do it. Here's Chris Warren.
Well, no cause for concern for the Kiwis. They were in a very similar position last week, and if we remember, a feature of their game so far in this series has been their ability to pile on the points in the second half. So panic was not a word Gary Freeman wanted to speak about, although he was quite impressed with the scoreline given the amount of possession against them. One thing he was hoping to improve in the back end of this game was speed at the play the ball, and I guess a lot of that will come down to the man in the middle with his arm in the air wearing the red shirt.
On the last tackle, and Jones, that was a great bit of play from him. He got the ball away, but Britain have got it back. It came off Ohio, and Andy Farrell has picked up the pieces for Great Britain. But Jones again can't hang off him. Have to close him down.
And they did that. They harassed the little halfback. They know how important it is. He can just turn on a bit of magic when they need it most.
This is Paul Anderson.
Well, it was mistakes early in the second half that created the downfall for Britain at Blackburn last week. They've got to make sure that they have the possession and make good use of it. Keep turning and turning them around.
Here goes Leon Price. 2 good drives. First was from Sculpthorpe, that one from Price. They're 40 metres away on the last. And Deacon will hoist the kick now. This is a little bit of pressure for Robbie Paul. Hoist drops it. Back it goes, and Farfili is there to pick up the pieces. Great chase by Connolly.
Good pressure. Fullback was under a lot of problems. Certainly lost control of it. Went back to the official said. I think he got it right.
Absolutely. Great Britain hunting another mistake. And they've forced the man square. That's Tupi. Forced him to run across the face of the play. Vanganar the dummy half. Here's Monty Beetham again. Interestingly enough, by the way, 8 Bradford Bulls out there, 10 New Zealand Warriors. Is one of them Jerry See You. It's almost a battle of the beaten grand finalists from northern southern hemispheres here. Of course, the real thing, the World Club Championship to come in February, and you'll be able to see that, well, need I tell you, live only here on Sky Sports. We'll be back with you in the new year after this test series has been put to bed. And how will it end next week in Wigan? Well, 10-6 New Zealand. Great Britain desperate to keep this series alive.
Britain can't afford just to up the jumper and hope to break through this solid defence. They've got to change the tactics.
I wonder when Danny Orr or Richard Horne might be introduced.
Well, that's when we need the adventure. A little chip over the top.
Oh, great ball from Sculthorpe to Anderson. Support with him. Support there from Deacon. And Deacon is, they're all closing him down. He just didn't have the pace. That's on the last tackle. Quick play, the ball wanted. Lowe's fires the pass wide. Peacock. Oh, he's gifted it here to Tupi. And Tupi's on his way. Leon Price is quick. Leon Price.
Well, he should get him. He should get him. Go low. Oh, he took a big gamble there, did Price. You don't go high on a big fella like that. It should have been legs straight away.
New Zealand switch from defence to attack. And this is Francis Melly. Well, the British break, and Deacon just didn't have the legs. Here now is Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul running flat, giving the ball to Vanganar. He has the man out wide. And he's in touch, I think.
Didn't even get there either.
I think his feet were in touch.
Oh,
Henry Farfili.
But he doesn't get anywhere near the line with it before he loses it. See?
Yes. The referee hasn't even referred this to the video referee. What about this for a break?
Beautiful play by Sculthorpe. Big fella back on the inside. You've got to give full credit to the Kiwis, though.
Absolutely. But Deacon, as soon as he got it, Steve, I was looking for who might be with him.
Well, he knows he hasn't got the legs. That's probably the only negative that you can point the finger at in regards to Paul Deacon being a 3-quarter. He can create the gap and his support play, but that was a very poor pass indeed from Jamie Peacock.
It was a gift for Tupi.
We would have been far better just to have dinked a little kick in and applied the pressure. And Leon Price, he was lucky to get a second bite at that. Should have gone for the leg straight away.
Britain with the possession from the scrum. Well, that was one opportunity gone. How many more will they get? Farrell. Lowe's at dummy half. Down the short side. Peacock. Rahihi. Kearney. O'Hire after him. Lowe's waiting again. Comes this way this time. Forshaw. Big hit by Rahihi. And again with help from Swain. Lowe's waits. Here's Anderson. And he bounced them away again. See you went to it. Oh, he's lost it. It was stolen. It was stolen off Anderson. That's a big call. That's a huge call from the referee. Quick tap penalty taken by Paul Sculthorpe.
Good thinking there. Went straight to the official. Right away. No doubt about it. Beetham certainly had a hand in there.
And Deacon. Second tackle. Lowe's waits. Comes down the short side again. Farrell will cut back across the middle of the pitch. And they're dropping off the tackles, the New Zealanders, at the moment. These are encouraging signs for Britain. It's with Sculthorpe. He gets it away to Peacock. Ooh, and there was a chance there for Gleeson if he could have got it away, but with three round him, how could he? Lowe's, good ball to Fielden. Last tackle here. Fielden wants to get on with it. Lowe's steps over the grounded player. Will attack him down the short side. Side-footed kick in. Oh, knock on!
Should be a try! It's gotta be a try!
It is for Gleeson! It'll be a try for Gleeson! Martin Gleeson swept onto the mistake. Well, he had a quiet full test debut, but the British supporters on their feet. Gleeson's try levels matters. Back at Huddersfield from whence he came, Martin Gleeson, and he's come up with a priceless British try.
Beautiful play by the hooker, Jimmy Lowe's. Through the dummy, waited the kick through there. Big mistake there from Malley. And then Gleeson said, thank you very much indeed. We've been praising the fact that Jimmy Lowe's, the architect of the Bradford Bulls, has now done exactly that for the British boys. You take your chances, and Lowe's certainly did. They didn't pressurize him down. They gave him the chance and the room to move to get the kick in. He's had a blinder.
James Lowe's with the kick through. The try from Martin Gleeson, as our caption said, tries now in the grand final, the Challenge Cup final, and in the white-hot cauldron of a test match here at Huddersfield. Big kick for Farrell. Britain are ahead. 12-10. Now then, let's all keep the lid on things.
We know the quality of these Kiwis, Eddie. You don't have to tell these guys in the red, white and blue out there. And Gleeson will be ever so pleased with that. It's a wonderful feeling to score a try for your country, especially at a moment like that. And a big night for this fellow, Danny Orr.
He's on now, and he's on for his test debut. And there's been a lot of people saying that Orr should be given his chance. Danny Orr now, the Castleford Tigers skipper, has got the chance.
And that's good tactics by David Waite.
Anderson is starting to run strongly in this second half. He's had 10 minutes of mayhem at the New Zealanders' defence. Wide to Senior. Senior running strongly. He was starved of possession in the first test. Here goes Gilmore.
To be fair, Eddie, that was brought about by the fact that both Vangenaar and Tupi, pretty solid defenders. Not many opportunities, as you mentioned, for both centres, Gleeson and Senior.
Farrell on the angled run. Oh, Danny Orr was waiting.
He should have been looking for it. That was one-on-one.
Beetham has nicked it.
Oh, Farrell really should have offloaded there. Danny Orr was streaming through a gap.
Now Great Britain have to defend. Here comes Paul Rahihi.
Pick up the tempo, lift it up. Plenty of possession for the British boys.
Stacey Jones, back it goes to Robbie Paul, another danger man here. Robbie Paul bringing the winger into play on that far side. Good defence. That's four gone, two remaining this set of six. 2P, Stacey Jones. Stacey Jones again, and the space for Stacey Jones. He gets the pass away to Vangenaar. Vangenaar comes back inside, and Great Britain's scrambling defence hunts him down. Last one, Rahihi, the dummy half. Stacey Jones on the half volley. Oh ho! Red light for Leon Price, claims it well, but forced over the try line. Drop out underneath the sticks coming up.
Well taken by Leon Price. He's gone through many a game where his but this was a moment when he really should have offloaded. He was looking there to try to get through, and it was good work by Monty Beetham. Pinched the ball away.
Monty Beetham, another of the New Zealand Warriors, 5th international cap, strong as an ox. They haven't got a football at the moment. They can't get on with the game. Well, nervous moments for the two coaching staffs. Nervous moments for everyone here at Huddersfield. 12-10 Britain.
Got to be a deep kick and a very good chase indeed.
Well,
they've got the length.
They have got the length. Robbie Paul underneath it. Wiki to run it back at Great Britain. And he picked out Danny Orr then, and the Tiger skipper stood his ground. Here's Robbie Paul again. Oh, Paul Anderson. Well, Robbie Paul now knows what it's like to run at Paul Anderson. Rahihi.
Good defence. They're forcing New Zealand into just one man out rugby league football. We have not seen the skill and the class of the offloading from the Kiwis as yet.
This is Beetham though now. Stacey Jones is coming more and more into it. Here is Richard Swain. A dab behind the defence, swept up by Connolly. He jinks away from Farfili.
Neat little kick through there. But full credit to this British defence. They're getting back in numbers. They know it was a downfall last week in the second half. They've got to make sure that they help the fullback and, of course, the two wingers as much as possible.
Lowe's to Deacon, and it goes wide. Good hands. Great hands.
Oh, that needed just a little bit of delay.
Gleeson didn't look.
Well, he thought Price perhaps would be just hanging behind, but you could see Price was in front. Price had gone far too quickly. You've got to read the game well, and opportunities like that don't come all that often, and Gleeson knows it.
Well, this is danger for Britain now. They are midway inside their own half of the field with head and feet at this scrum against them. So it'll be New Zealand possession.
That was poor thinking, though, by Leon Price.
Here's Lance Ohaya. Wrestle to the ground by the number 17, Danny Orr. Here now is Monty Beetham. Tackle is completed. That's the second one. Vanganar. And here is Lauatiti.
Keep coming, boys.
They're inching closer to that line, though. Swain will come down the short side. Richard Swain. Lowe's was after him and got to him. Helped out by Farrell. Stacey Jones had to turn and pick that up, waiting for the runners. They're not there. Stacey Jones wrestled to the deck. Paul Anderson doing a great job. Now then, Vanganar with a kick through, and it's charged down by Lowe's.
Great experience there from Lowe's. He knew it was a charge down, wouldn't be classified as a knock-on.
Well, he's off his knees anyway.
But he knew the importance, Eddie, of getting this possession. Oh, that's a dodgy one. Lee Gilmore took the big gamble underneath of the own sticks.
And this is Peacock.
He definitely went for that Lowe's. I think he's looking to get a, as you say, it wasn't a charge down.
It was off his foot, Steve.
Yep.
Sculthorpe. Fielden bounces off Swain. Kearney has been a bit high tonight. And mind you, that wasn't Kearney, that was Logan Swan. Here's Deacon. Now Farrell. Britain looking sharp, but on the last tackle. Danny Orr at dummy half. Deacon. A dink over there. Oh, that's a poor kick. That was playing straight into the arms of the winger.
Give credit, though, to the chase from New Zealand. They applied that pressure, forced him down.
Robbie Paul. Great Britain know all about Robbie Paul. Look at the runs from dummy half mounting for Great Britain, 22 of them. Here is Farfili. Oh,
that was high from Anderson. And Farfili would have felt that. Anderson knows that he just slipped a bit over the top. We knew it was going to be blood and guts in the second half, but that was a bad one. Really, really bad one there from Anderson. And in a position of the field where they were applying the pressure again. Much better work from the first and second markers from Britain in the second half. They realised the importance that Richard Swain, how he controls it. Pretty similar to the way that James Lowe's did in the first half.
So chances here for the New Zealanders in possession with Lauatiti. First penalty, second half for the New Zealanders. Rahihi, senior gets to him.
That's the first time we've seen the Kiwis actually run onto the ball with a lot more venom, and that's the mistake. They'll play the first knock on.
Yes, they will. And the mistake was from Ruben Wiki, Canberra Raiders.
Just had a little bit of a look at the big fella Anderson, who was lining him up. Even at this high quality and high standard at test level, You have a little bit of a squint and you come up with a mistake.
So tense, this test. 12-10. New Zealand make a change. Britain make a change. Terry O'Connor's back.
Now we're coming to that point, Eddie, where so often in the past, where the British sides have done exceptionally well, it's in the last quarter that we just seem to capitulate.
Standing ovation, by the way, for Paul Anderson, and why shouldn't there be?
That's going to be a penalty if he tries to push him yet again. Solid defence, though.
Yes, great defence. That was by Logan Swan on Jamie Peacock. Well, last week, Sean McRae, you said that it was a blood and thunder test and it was as physical as it gets. What about this?
No change here, Eddie. It's really, really tough out there. I think there's one of the noticeable features with the Great Britain attack tonight is the number of times they're turning the ball back inside and making the New Zealand defender work maybe 1 or 2, even 3 tackles. They've taken a lot of energy out of them, and then when the Kiwis do get a little tight in defence, Great Britain are actually prepared to shift the ball. This is looking a little dangerous now after that turnover, though, and that's the problem Great Britain might have. New Zealand will capitalise at some stage on turnovers.
And that was great work by Terry O'Connor and by Andrew Farrell. Stacey Jones, they forced the error. And it's head and feet, Great Britain.
Well, I think they're a little bit fortunate there. The British boys looked to me as though O'Connor was really shoveling for that ball, but either way, they got the rub of the green.
Steady. Well, on little decisions like that, our test matches won and lost. Connolly.
Well, to be fair, they had 2 against them in the first half. Both brought about by the English touch judge.
Well, both sides must be feeling the pinch now. This has been a blood and thunder match. Peacock.
And that's why I raised the point in the final quarter. That's when you've got to start digging deep.
Lowe's has been digging deep all night when he's been on the field.
He's been outstanding.
Terry O'Connor driving it up the middle. Last tackle for Great Britain.
Got to be a good kick and chase. Apply that pressure, maybe bring about the mistake.
Deacon. It went between the winger Farfili and Robbie Ball. And a good chase, but he's giving it to Farfili inside. They're prepared to take risks.
Farfili wasn't. He's got a little bit of a think there. Yeah, Tupi out wide. This is now taking on. That's just throwing it away.
Well, this has been going on all night.
Well, we saw the gang tackle introduced by the Kiwis in the first half. Now that we do it,
Thank you, boys.
he gets penalised for it.
Well, the word that the referee, Stephen Clark, uses in situations like that is dominant. You can be dominant, but you've then got to get off the tackled player. Here's Rahihi. Skulthorpe stands his ground.
Well, it's an old ploy. 2 of them get to him, spin him around, offers the kidneys as a target, or the ribs, and the third man comes in.
Great tackle there by Lowe's on Wiki. Here's Stacey Jones. Screen for forward from the terraces. Monty Beetham hangs on. That's 4. Swain, Jones. Jones gets the pass back inside to Guttenbeil. Guttenbeil has got Swain within, and Swain is tackled by Keith Senior and Stuart Fielden.
Superb handling there. Wonderful offload by the loose forward Guttenbeil.
Here now come the Kiwis again, and that's forward. It had to be forward, and the referee spotted it before Tupi. He's blown the whistle. He's blown the whistle. Forward pass.
I think Tupi knew.
And the man who put the ball forward, Tony Pullatuya.
No doubt about it. Under a lot of pressure there from the substitute, Danny Orr. He's on the last, so it's a turnover.
They've got to hang on. Great Britain have to hang on. They know it as well as anybody.
I don't think we can afford to just hang on, Eddie.
I'm into the football stick, not to the lead.
Oh, well. They've got to play out the sense, that is for sure. Because I just get the feeling that it's going to come from an awful mistake.
Lowe's is off, Sinfield's on, there he is.
Whoever wins this game.
Farrell taking on Ohio. Guttenbeil gets him round the ankles. Connolly dummy half. Connolly will attack the line. Gary Connolly! Half break from Connolly! Oh, he couldn't get the ball away, just slipped, and Danny Orr was hunting again. Sinfield, this is the last. Oh, an awful pass. And Deacon, he could do nothing else other than that. Robbie Paul gobbles it up gratefully. Well, that wasn't the best Great Britain, I'm afraid.
Not the best pass indeed. You can't blame Deacon. Oh, they were looking to get away with that one. That did go backwards. Good call by Stephen.
Oh, Stacey Jones gets away from two. And this is Tupi, tackled by Price. Good play by Britain in defence, pushing it back. They've lost a bit of ground there.
That'll lift the spirits. It always does.
Monty beat them.
They're tackling like terriers. They know they have to.
Oh, this is Swain. Such a danger man, and there's no James Lowes to look after him, but Sinfield's there. Guttenbeil again. He's had a big series, this fella. He's had a big tour, Alwyn Guttenbeil. Last tackle. Swain misses out. Jones goes for Vangenaar, gets it to Vangenaar somehow, and that's good play by Vangenaar. Play on though. Farrell.
Oh, he lost that.
He's looking to get away with that.
Looking to grab it back on the second occasion. You just feel that the Kiwis have stepped up a gear.
Here it is.
Vangenaar, not a bad effort. Farrell just had a hand to that.
Well, it's tense. It is so tense at the McAlpine Stadium. You can cut this atmosphere with a knife. The British supporters here are holding their breath.
Again, we see a high shot from Monty Beetham. Oh, that was good pressure though by Beetham. It forced Sculthorpe to send out a poor pass.
New Zealanders have it back. Here is Ruben Wiki.
Just shows you the importance. If you work hard in the first and second markers, you apply the pressure and they come up with that header.
Stacey Jones, Robbie Paul. They waited for him. Deacon and Farrell got Robbie Paul down.
Hold here, hold.
Lance O'Hire. Guttenbeil again. Offloads. Vangenaar went inside O'Connor, but Sinfield was there.
Keep coming to me. Here's the 10.
Swain. Stacey Jones. Ball to Kearney. Good tackle, Danny Orr. And here is Logan Swan. They're inching towards that British line. Last tackle. Big effort needed. Tupi. Come back this way. Hacked forward by Robbie Paul. That'll be too deep. Britain survived.
It was brought about by getting amongst them. It wasn't the best pass. Now it's a turn of the Kiwis to tackle hard. And it was a good tackle there by Guttenbeil.
That was a senior. That was an awful pass.
It was never on Deacon. He copped a beauty as well.
This is Farfili.
That had a big red cross on it there.
Good job that O'Connor was there. Richard Swain, Francis Melly.
We're beginning to fall off the tackles.
There's so much pressure here. Here is Ruben Wiki again. He's away from Danny Orr. Ruben Wiki gets there. Ruben Wiki scores the try. Well, it all came about by the mistake of Senior. It was an impossible pass. Got away in an impossible situation. Only on the second tackle of Britain's set of 6. And Senior's mistake has been capitalised by Ruben Wiki.
Well, I hate to say, I told you so. That was just poor play. That is certainly not international standing. Deacon, it's a big red cross on it, and they took full use of it. I said that they were falling off the tackles. They couldn't get to him. First it was Danny Orr that missed him. And then we saw Jamie Peacock get to him. Couldn't stop him. Great effort. That is a wonderful try by the second rower, Ruben Wiki. He was brought in for the second test to bolster the defence. That's his forte. And yet he has come up with an absolute perler of a try. That is international class.
It is, and it's his 5th try in 8 tests now against Great Britain. Richard Swain with an important conversion for the New Zealanders. He's missed it! Oh, I can't believe that! I cannot believe that! 14-12. Well, Ruben Wiki, this is his 35th cap. He played centre against Wales, his first appearance in the centres since 1999 against the Aussies, but the try not converted by Richard Swain. Britain just 2 points adrift. Time's important, plenty of that. Just shy of 13 minutes, but Britain have got to make these tackles count.
Well, that just shows you the pressure that's out there. It really should have been an easy conversion by the hooker, Richard Swain.
Here's Wiki, the try scorer.
And now it's the British turn to hunt that mistake.
Guttenbeil.
But the man
Senior will be livid with himself. Richard Horne waiting to come on. Kearney almost away. He was away from O'Connor, couldn't get away from Peacock or Sculthorpe. Here's Richard Swain, wide to Stacey Jones, further wide again. And the kick has been picked up by Leon Price. He's got to come back this way.
Good work from Tupi there.
He manages to stay in the field of play, which is important for Britain. Here comes Peacock.
Now in will we touch of skill. We need it.
Sinfield to Deacon. Deacon to Farrell. And Farrell almost through. Important tackle by Banganar. Keith Senior, better than a moment ago. Hero now, maybe. Deacon pops the ball back. Charging by Great Britain. Here they go. Oh, it bounced kindly to Orr. Peacock.
Won't be back to 6. The ball played the man. Definitely touched the Kiwi.
Last one here for Britain.
Will it be a solo from the youngster?
Richard Horne, first touch. Danny Orr, good kick. Good kick. Farfili claims it brilliantly.
Concentration there was quite superb from the winger. Look at that. He had both eyes on that football. It was going to be his all the time.
New Zealand taking their time in getting this ball back into play. But this is an absolute lesson on how to take the ball on a crossfield kick.
Wonderful. You could see the arms raised above the shoulders to cradle the ball in. Elbows was tucked in deep.
Well, Britain so close, but so far, as we approach 10 minutes of the match remaining. Kearney to his feet, plays the ball to Swain. This now is Pullatuya again. Swain once more. Ruben Wiki. Plays the ball to Swain. Stacey Jones, kick for the corner. Gilmore's after this.
Beautiful kick. Great kick there. Forced Gilmore into messing around in that corner, and look at the chase.
Terrific chase.
It's a big hole for Britain to get out of this, I can assure you. I know there's plenty of time to go, but they really have lifted themselves, the Kiwis. And as soon as Ruben Wiki went over for that vital try, they felt even more confident.
Great ball to Price.
That's been a feature though, the way that they've come back. Once they've got the half break, Great Britain, the Kiwis, they get back in numbers.
Danny Orr does well, offloads to Richard Horne. Richard Horne offloads to Terry O'Connor.
That was high yet again.
On the shoulder is the referee's version. Here's Paul Deacon. Now it's with Andrew Farrell.
What a tackle from Richard Swain. Read it perfectly, knew the skipper was coming back on the angle.
Dink over the top by Sinfield, not the best. Right down the throat of Farfili. Here comes Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul straightens it up. Tackled by Sculthorpe.
Well, a wasted kick over there. Really should have been a lot shorter than that.
Oh, that's good work by Francis Melly. And the tackle by Jamie Peacock. Sean McRae, can Britain win this?
I sure can, Eddie. I think the call going out from both coaches is to be patient with the football. Neither side needs to panic. There's plenty of time. There's plenty of sets of 6 on the clock. Got a little fracas here at the moment. I hope they don't come near me.
Well, the touch judge was on the field immediately, flag up, and he saw something, and the New Zealanders weren't too impressed with it.
I don't want anyone else. Are you in on?
Now, I wonder what happened here.
Great Britain.
Yeah, well, Tupi definitely threw the punch first.
This is going to be Sculthorpe who's going to be penalised.
Oh, yeah, put one in. Well, that was silly. I thought perhaps that Tupi had just lost his marbles.
Wait, that's enough. Thanks, Frank. Right, that's the report. You've instigated. All right, it's a penalty on you. Don't take the law in your hands here. Right.
Well, Sculthorpe saying that the New Zealander Tupi came in with the elbow.
He won't come in, mate.
But he's conceded the penalty, Paul Sculthorpe.
And one we could have done without. We talk about the composure, and that certainly is what's needed in these last 10 minutes.
So Stacey Jones will deposit the ball in about row Z on that far side in this capacity crowd tonight. Full house, and well, just exactly 8 minutes left for Great Britain to rescue this series. Logan Swan now.
Now will the Kiwis be looking perhaps for the one-pointer, just to try to demoralise the opposition?
Stacey Jones, talking of demoralising, Ruben Wiki. Tackled by Farrell. Well, Swain, Jones, Guttenbeil. That's 4 tackles gone. Great Britain have to survive the next 2. Jones, a dab through from Jones. Off the legs though of Danny Orr. Good run from the Castleford Tigers man.
And again, that's going to be a penalty. Went to the second goal, Stacey Jones. Full credit though to the little halfback. You've got to be fair. He made the mistake and all had gone through. But again, we see the Kiwis. Their attitude to come back and help has been outstanding, especially in the second half. 2 balls on the field.
So we'll restart now on the referee's whistle. Sinfield to Fielden. He offloads to Sinfield. It goes in field to Deacon. Then on to Paul Anderson. Came off to a standing ovation. Can he come off to a standing ovation in 7 minutes' time?
The big question, will they bring David Waite, will they bring Jimmy Lowe's back on for these vital last minutes?
Farrell was almost through Guttenbeil then, but the opposite number stuck to him. Keith Senior. Senior straightens it up. Big hit. Swain and Siu. Deacon. Orr. Sculthorpe. Peacock.
Stephen Kearney went very high.
Richard Horn attacking the line. Wide they go. And that is Gleeson underneath all of that. Last tackle. Leon Price inside to Sculthorpe. Oh, what a take. What a take by Richard Sway.
Wonderful stuff by the hooker. It was the right tactics, good option. He'd had plenty of pace on it, and that guy has come to the rescue of the Kiwis big time.
This is Henry Farfili. 6 minutes and counting. Great test match. Real contest. Can Britain win it in the last 6 minutes?
The big problem for the British boys is that they need possession, and when they do, they've got to really chance their arm.
That was Siu. That's 5 tackles gone. Wait for the kick. Stacey Jones. Lance O'Hire then. Over the top. This is going to be straight down the throat of Gilmore. Now then. Gilmore with pace to burn.
Did well to keep in the field of play as well.
Deacon waits.
Still got some fuel left in the tank at Britain.
Senior.
Taking on the defence. Quick play the ball. That's what's needed.
There it is.
All over them.
I don't think the New Zealanders were standing square at that play the ball. This is Sinfield. Fortunately to Danny Orr, and wide now to Martin Gleeson. A stab through for Leon Price. Leon Price after this.
Oh!
Drop out from underneath the sticks coming up. The Kiwis are under pressure.
What we've seen throughout this tour, that the short kick behind the centre and the wingman has caused a lot of problems for the Kiwis. And it was a wonderful weighted effort from Martin Gleeson. Jones surprisingly allowed Robbie Paul to go for it. If I'd have been the skipper, I would have gone for that football and made sure that no one got anywhere near it. And he knows that they are under pressure, trying to lift his charges.
Well,
listen
Jones,
to the crowd here.
They're not too impressed with what's happening here, because Stacey Jones is waiting for Robbie Paul to be given some treatment, and this will just settle down the nerves. It's a goal line dropout, of course.
What a wonderful moment it would be for the likes of Danny Orr and Richard Horn just to come up with something brilliant.
I think there is a problem here for Robbie Paul.
Looks like the knee.
And they've called for the stretcher. Well, Brian Noble will have mixed feelings about all this.
Well, he certainly put his body on the line, did the fullback.
Maybe he got a stamp on the knee there by Leon Price, also of the Bradford Bulls. Boots were flying. It was brave by Paul.
It was, though he didn't go with the hands, which he really should have done. He went with the legs instead.
But as
I mentioned before, I hope he's okay, but if I'd have been Stacey Jones, I would have been going for that football. Remember, I had my back to the opposition, and it looks as though it's split.
I think it's a gashed knee.
Yep.
Now then, 3.5 minutes remaining. Dropout coming up underneath the sticks as the first aiders take Robbie Paul off the field.
Well, you could see there that the skipper, Stacey Jones, was saying, listen, I will control things, you take it from me.
Lowe's, I think, is back on the field.
That's a good move by Waite.
Well, not yet. I think he's ready to come back.
There's been 2 bad passes from Sinfield. He's played his part, no doubt.
Danny Orr.
But we need the likes of Jimmy Lowe's.
Oh, that's a penalty.
Yeah, we've got to go
for the 2 points.
Of course he has.
No, he knocked it out.
Oh, I'm not so sure.
Oh, he did.
Oh, I'm not so sure, Eddie.
Well, the kicking tee is already out, let me tell you.
Oh, I'm not so sure that it's knocked away. Oh, yeah, on a different angle, you're right. Either way, I was going to take the penalty.
Take the penalty. Hopefully, Farrell gets the 2
and
get the ball back.
And then it's down to field goal activity.
Yep. It won't be a shallow kick-off from the New Zealanders. You can rest assured of that. That is, if Farrell kicks this, bang in front. It's a crucial kick for the captain. He's got it. He's kicked it. Scores a level.
Straight down the middle.
Now then, 14 all, 5 drives, drop goal, let's all go home.
I'm with you, Eddie.
Where's Sean Long? Remember the grand final? Well, there's plenty out there who are exponents of the drop goal.
Sculthorpe, Deacon, to name but 2. Danny Orr's no slouch in that department either.
Let's get news from Chris on Robbie Paul.
Well, for the Bradford fans out there, I think the news is okay. Structurally, I'm pretty sure the knee looks fine, although it is a very severe gash. You won't see him back, that's for sure, in this match, but possibly in the decider.
If a decider it will be. Great Britain have got to win this for it to be a decider. And Danny Orr, they'll feed it wide to Gleeson. He'll come back in this way. Oh, he flicked it home. Leon Price did well to hang on to that. 6 to go.
That should have been a knock-on, Eddie. He lost it and it hit a Kiwi player, which constitutes a knock-on. Oh, they're going to have the gods with them.
Quick hands, Farrell. They need to get up within Cooey of the post. Farrell! Hauled down by Vanganar.
Drive to the sticks.
Driving into the sticks. Richard Horn.
Jimmy Lowe's will take control. Where's the big fellas?
Plenty of tackles remaining. Anderson to drive in. Now then, will they go early?
Take another.
Sculthorpe. Now they're in chances. Farrell. Knock on.
Back to 6.
To go. Senior.
Oh, he's got it behind him. Was it touched?
It was touched by 2 big.
Head and feed, Great Britain.
Not over yet.
Senior was shouting at the official saying we got a fingertip to it. 2 beat was.
You know better
We'll see here.
You know better than
Not so sure, but maybe he just got a fingernail. Either way, that fingernail could be in the difference.
Well, this could be the opportunity. Straight from the base of the scrum, 1 point Sculthorpe. He's stood there, he's waiting. So too Richard Horn.
You want a penalty here?
This is a big scrum. This is a massive scrum for these 2 nations.
You're wasting your own time now. Get it in.
Well, remember, you're 20 metres apart from the scrum base, so you should go for it now.
It's with Sculthorpe. He'll go for the drive in first. Oh, you can hardly bear to watch. Drive to the sticks. Oh, not the best pass again. Richard Horn, Andy Farrell. He's full Gutenbiel. Hauled down by CU. That's 4 gone. Gilmore, Sculthorpe still. Now then, this is the chance. This is the chance. Jimmy Lowe's.
They've gone the wrong option.
He's claiming he was taken out.
They'll get the ball, but I think both the coaches, Brian Noble, David Waite, realised maybe he just took the wrong option. He took a gamble, did the hooker, Jimmy Lowe's. They laid off him.
Why didn't he go to ground and take the 1 point?
Precisely. And that's why the disappointment is etched on the face. They know a golden opportunity is gone. I'm surprised that we didn't go for it from the scrum base.
Yes.
Where there were 20 metres between the two sides.
Well,
hardly any chance of anybody to break it down.
Right, they've got 12 seconds remaining.
They've got to go early. They can't mess around.
It's back with Danny Orr. And Danny Orr under Deacon. Deacon misses.
Oh. And that does it.
Match is drawn. Test match is drawn. Magnificent contest. Just wide. 14 points all. Deacon so close to snatching it in the last second. What an effort from both sides. What a test match at Huddersfield. 14 all. It will mean academically that the New Zealanders will retain that trophy, the Baskerville trophy, because they can't now be beaten in this test series. But Britain can go to Wigan and they can square it all at 1-1. David Waite, he knows they were so close. Drawn series in England, 1980, 1985, maybe 2002, who knows. They closed Stacey Jones down, and Bill is with the Great Britain captain, Andrew Farrell.
A monumental effort from Great Britain, led by the skipper Andy Farrell, who incidentally came in for the usual sniping before this game. 1 or 2 people in the media querying his ability to lead the country. I think he answered those questions tonight, but this must be agonising.
Oh, that's test match rugby for you, Bill. It's always hard no matter who you're playing test matches, and you know, the first one was very hard, the second one's close. You know, there's not much in it between these teams now, and you know, we're lucky that he's going to the final one, because I think with a bit more composure we should have won that match.
Well, that was the thing. In the final seconds it was there for 1 point and just didn't happen.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, there's been a lot of pressure on the lads this week as far as we've got to perform to keep this series alive, and we've done that. We're in with a shout for the next one, mate, and that's all that counts.
Well, you said you'd come up with the performance tonight. You've done that, Andy.
Yeah, we still get better though, mate, and hopefully win it.
Thanks very much.
Well, now let's hear from the man who's broken Great Britain's hearts in some ways, Ruben Wiki, try scorer for the Kiwis. Chris.
And Eddie, I can tell you he's a very tired-looking Ruben Wiki, and why not? That game had it all, Ruben. This is your 4th tour to Great Britain. How's this one compare?
Oh, mate, it's right up there with the best of them, and you know, we knew the Poms was going to come out fired up, and they did. And you know, we just made too many errors, and they capitalised on it. And,
full credit to the Great Britain crowd. I mean, the atmosphere here was just electric. What was it like out there on the pitch?
Oh, I couldn't hear anything, mate. It was had a lot of English supporters, so we just tried to stick together and go over the win. But you know, it was a tough encounter all 80 minutes.
They're saying that this tour party that you're with, the Kiwi group, is probably the strongest ever to tour Great Britain shores. Obviously, I've said you've been on this is your 4th tour. How does this team compare to others you've played in?
Pretty young side, you know. I'm one of the oldest in the team, but you know, they're right up there with the best. And you know, well, this game was a real tough encounter. Went 80 minutes, and Deacon needed to kick the field goal. But you know, we've got another test next week, so we just have to work out our mistakes.
A big match next week for you. Of course, you are still undefeated on this tour. 7 from 7 would be nice. Of course, you can't get 7 full wins now, but you could still go home undefeated. Is that a goal?
Yeah, it is, but you know, we wanted to win tonight, but you know, we knew the Poms were going to come out fired up, and they did. And they never gave up, and you know, we've got another chance next week, and throughout the series, though, it's going to be another tough encounter.
Well done, Ruben.